It's Sponge, and we're going to be playing some Bant control. Alright, let's have a look. So, we have a deck that is full of counter spells. So, counter spells completely shut down an enemy spell so long as I have the mana to play my own counter spell. For example, let's say an opponent wants to play a creature. Well, I can play Sinister Sabotage, for example, counter target spell. And their spell goes straight to the graveyard, straight to the bin. Let's have a look at what the deck covers. At turn 2, with Birth of Meletis, I can build a wall, and with that wall I can defend most creatures because it has 4 health. I should say at turn 3, actually. We have 2 Fae of Wishes, which can fetch stuff from the sideboard here. We have 3 Quenches, which is a counter spell that shuts down an enemy spell if they can't pay the mana cost of a 2 extra. We have 3 Banishing Light, which can exile an enemy permanent that's non-land at 3 mana. We have 2 Narsets, which can fetch a non-creature, non-land card, and also stops the enemy from drawing more than 1 card per turn, which combos with another card, which I will show you soon. 3 Sinister Sabotage, another counterspell that also allows me to surveil, which means I can check the top card of my library, and if I don't like it, I can put it in the graveyard. 2 Wave Break Hippocamp. During my enemy's turn, if I play a spell, such as a counterspell, I get to draw a card. 4 Absorbs, a counterspell that also gives me life, which is super relevant, super important. 4 Teferi, which stops my enemy from being able to play spells outside of any time they could play a sorcery, which is fantastic. It also lets me bounce a creature, which slows down most opponents, unless they have hasty creatures, which is annoying. We have 3 Chemist's Insight to draw some cards, 3 Wilderness Reclamation, which untaps all of my lands at the end step, 3 Thassa's Intervention, which acts as a counterspell, and also its other function lets me search my library for stuff. 2 Castle Ardenvale to create 1/1 tokens. Plains, Castle Ventress to scry, and some lands, particularly Fabled Passage, which lets me fetch any of these basic lands here, as well as Birth of Meletis, which lets me get some basic lands. In the sideboard, we have Devout Decree and some other spells. In particular, I really like Kira Best the Sea God. We've played with it before. I hope to get this spell out using the Fae of Wishes. Another card that I want to use is Emergency Powers, comboed with Narset. Not being able to draw 1 card and using the power of Emergency Powers, which makes the opponent and myself empty the hand and draw 7 cards, that'll end up with a situation where I have 7 cards and they only have 1. Very interesting, hilarious combo. See if I can pull it off. Alright, let's play some games. So, home, and then play. Standard, and we'll change to Bant control. Let's go. Alright, take a sip of water. Who will be our first opponent for the day? Ready. Who is it? Ready to go. Counterspells are my absolute favorite type of deck to play with. I love counterspells. They are evil. Oh, our rank has dropped back down to silver because we have not played since the reset of the ranks. But that's okay. We're going to jump right back up. So I've got 2 lands, that's okay. I'm hoping to draw some more. Apparently I've got a 43% chance to draw another land. I'm hoping so. And I hope it's blue, otherwise I am F-word. Okay. Nice, nice, nice. What are we going to do? Opponent, what are you going to do? A breeding pool. And does nothing. Sweet. There is my Hallowed Fountain. I'm going to play the Plains just because it enters untapped and it opens up my Quench without having to pay the 2 life to have this enter untapped. For the newer players, Hallowed Fountain lets me play either a white or a blue, or an opt. Lets me play either a white or blue mana. And this can enter the battlefield ready to go if I pay 2 life. Otherwise, it can enter tapped, which is where I can't use it this turn if I don't do anything. So, it's referred to as a shock land. Shock lands are super awesome, and they're going to be rotated out soon, which sucks, but that's okay. We will get through it. So, My opponent has 1 mana open. He's obviously got counter spells. But he can't play any counter whatsoever unless he's main decking that nasty blue spell that has 1 mana. Ah, what's it called? Mystical Dispute. And I doubt he has Mystical Dispute. It's a cool card though. Alright, he's got an opt. Fine. Should I quench it? Nah, you can look at the top card of your deck and draw a card. Like I care. Like I care, man. Shaskon. What, you gonna play another land? Shaskon? Oh, he's got his lands open. Ah, a staring contest. Well, I'm happy to play that all day. So, counter deck versus counter deck usually ends up being whoever has 5 or 6 mana first wins. And because I missed my land drop, this is not looking good. Alright, Growth Spiral. I can't let my opponent get too much mana, so I'm going to quench that. Eventually, these quenches aren't going to become useful if he keeps getting too much land. Okay, oh, I missed another land drop. Alright, that's nasty. That's okay. I've still got 1 more quench up. Got 45% chance-ish to get another land. Definitely no to that wolf. Say bye-bye. Counter target spell unless he pays 2. He spent 4 to cast that spell. He doesn't have another 2 left over, so the quench counters the spell. Now, I am out of counter spells. I do have Banishing Light. My opponent keeps getting land, which is fantastic. Yes! Alright, alright. Got my land. Gonna shock that in. Now, I've got no more counter spells to play, so I might go Wilderness Reclamation and bait a counter spell out of my opponent. Let's do that. Alright, so he's going to play some sort of Sinister Sabotage or Quench or something to get rid of that, and that's fine. I've got another one. Okay, cool. He's going to counter it. And he's going to surveil the top of his library. Gets rid of the Druid. Doesn't want the Druid. Plays an Omer of the Sea. Gets to scry some stuff and draw some stuff again. He's digging deep, and I would assume he's digging for another Nightpack Ambusher. Let's have a look. This card, if I let it enter the field, I only have 1 more opportunity to get rid of it, and that's Banishing Light. Mainly, my main method of removal in this game, in using a counter deck, is counter spells. I have Banishing Light that exiles some permanents, but I like to save that for permanents that cannot be countered. Green, blue. Let's just get some more blue. He's got another counter spell up. I've got a Wilderness Reclamation here. 1 more in the library. What can I do to bait a counter spell out of my opponent? I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to leave up Chemist's Insight. Draw some cards with that. Let's see what my opponent does. Omen of the Sea. I'm going to respond by drawing some cards. He's going to counter it. Oh, please do. Please counter that. I dare you. Alright, he doesn't do it. I get an Absorb. Sick. Can't play it, unfortunately. I've tapped out. That's where Wilderness Reclamation is awesome. At the beginning of your end step, untap all lands that you control. Essentially resetting. Don't even have to wait till my next turn. Opening up all of my instant spells, such as counter spells. In fact, that's the only types of instant spells I have. Alright, another counter spell. Sick. So at this point I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not enough to play Wilderness Reclamation and absorb an enemy's counter, but that's okay. What I can do instead is Narset. I can play Narset. He tries to counter the Narset. Or I can play Wave Break, Hippocamp. What's the odds that he has 2 counter spells in hand? Let's have a look. Let's bait a counter spell. He's definitely going to want to counter this. And then I'm going to respond by countering his counter. But then that'll leave me completely screwed next turn. Okay, he's got an Ashiok. I could Banishing Light his Ashiok. Could Banishing Light this next turn, leaving the Absorb open. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Alright, you can get rid of Wave Break if you can. Sure. Alright, so the plan is I'm going to leave 3 Absorb open to counter any potential spells my opponent has. You only got 1 in hand. And next turn, I'm going to play Banishing Light, exile this, get my Hippocampus back, and if he tries to counter my Banishing Light, I have another Absorb ready to go. Dun, 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 dun. Alright, he plays a monkey. Sure, you can have a monkey. Dun, 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 dun. Alright, what's your last spell, boy? A druid. Oh, you are screwed, my boy. Yeah, screw it. Let's counter that. Nice. Alright, so he's got the mana open to sacrifice this and scry 2, which lets him look at the top 2 cards of his library. He's most likely going to do that since he's got nothing in hand. He needs to have a look at that top of the cards of his library and get some things done. Alright, it's at this point of the game which I have completely taken over. I have all of the cards. He has nothing. I have a decent amount of mana. And we're going to have a good time. He knows I'm going for that erasure. He's worried, so he's going to sacrifice that and have a scry. Alright, he scried 1 thing to the top, got 1 thing to the bottom, so let's see if that's good enough for him to get out of this very sticky situation that he's found himself in. Alright, so I'm going to do nothing and leave Absorb open. Can't risk my opponent top decking something good and playing it. I'm going to counter it if he does. Omen of the Sea. I'm going to completely shut that down. Or should I? Yeah, let's shut it down. I'm not even going to let him peek at his library. So now he's got a monkey, and he's got the opportunity to attack. Nah, he's done. Alright. Good first game. Hell yeah. Let's get out of this silver. Silver is... it's fun. Yeah, let's just call it fun. Alright. Play more Bant control. Who will be the next victim today? Who indeed? Is Sutal 175. And he's got a Fibblethip avatar. Alright, I got my fave wishes. I don't have any counter spells. If my opponent is an aggro deck, I am screwed. Except I've got a good mana curve here, so I can scry with this and try and find something on the top of my library that's not a land and that can actually do stuff. I go first. Let's give it a go. Ree! My opponent is taking his time. That's okay. Birth of Meletis. Yeah, alright, that's perfect. That is an anti-aggro card. Lets me fetch a land. Puts down a wall to block aggro creatures. Am I versing an aggro deck? Ooh, I don't know. Green and white is Selesnya, and Selesnya is always associated with tons of tiny little critters that like to pile up the battlefield and attack all at once. If he is in fact Selesnya, I may have a bad time. What's he gonna do now? Oh, no, he is Bant. He's Bant just like me. Bant is blue, white, and green. Looks like we've got ourselves a Bant mirror. He's running Growth Spiral, which is giving him a big head start of mana. Oh goodness. He's just played the Growth Spiral for 1 extra land. He's played the Arboreal Grazer. He is curving out like a boss. I may have to get Narset cranking right now. So, I'm going to shock in this Hallowed Fountain to give me 2 blue. And drop Narset. And let's search for something. Let's search for a counterspell. Perfect. Ooh. Teferi can completely shut down my enemies' counterspells. Yeah, let's try Teferi. Okay, I just need to wait 1 turn. The only bad thing about this is that my opponent knows I have Teferi in my hand, so that's definitely going to change his tactics at this point. Is he going to spend a spell to get rid of Narset? That is a possibility. 3rd chapter of Birth of Meletis gives me 2 life. In this kind of matchup, the extra 2 life isn't really that relevant. When I'm versing aggro decks that like to throw down heaps of creatures and attack my face and get me killed by turn 5, then it is fantastic to have that little bit of extra health and the wall. In this matchup, really the Birth of Meletis... Oh, crap. Okay, he had the same idea. Alright, so we've both shut down our ability to run counterspells. That's very concerning because 10 of my cards out of my 60 cards are counterspells. Now, I'm going to have to use Banishing Light to get rid of Teferi. He's too much of a nuisance. If only there was a way for me to play Teferi and Banishing Light in the same turn. Let's get Castle Ardenvale going. Narset to find some stuff. Card advantage is a good thing during these types of matches. And Chemist's Insight definitely gives me that card advantage. But a counterspell is a counterspell, and I love counterspells, so I gotta grab it. Gotta grab that counterspell. Alright, and time to get rid of Banishing Light. And use it to eat up a Teferi. Oh, nom nom nom! Alright, what are you gonna do now, enemy? You gonna drop another Teferi? Please don't drop another Teferi. Don't do it. Please. Anything but another Teferi. If he drops another Teferi, then I'm dropping my Teferi, and it's just going to have to be a shut down all counterspells type of match until I draw another Banishing Light. He can drop another Teferi and bounce my Banishing Light, but then I can just play my Banishing Light again and he loses his first Teferi. So, I don't think that would be the play at all, really. Alright. I can... He's leaving open a counterspell. Mega, obviously. So what's the play? Let's scry. Yes. So if he's leaving a counterspell open, then I'm going to leave a counterspell open too. Sounds good. My plan is to have enough mana to be able to play Teferi and protect him with an Absorb. Therefore, I need 6 mana. Next turn is the opportunity to do that. Play Teferi first and protect him. But I need to survive my enemy's turn first. So let's see what he does. He's thinking about it. He's got options. He's got 5 cards. He's got the options. He is leaving open a counterspell. Ooh, this is scary. Alright, so going to play Fabled Passage and going to fetch a blue mana. Oh, I should probably fetch a green mana. Do I have enough to absorb? Yeah, I've got enough to absorb and play Teferi. Yeah, okay, cool. So let's grab 1 forest, get my Bant colors like my opponent does, play the Teferi. Play the Teferi. If my opponent has a Sinister Sabotage and a Quench, I'm dead. This is a risk and a half. Let's try it. Let's go. Alright, so he's going to counter that. I'm going to absorb his counter. If he has a Quench, I've lost this trade. Oh, wait a moment. He's got the Growth Spiral. Okay. So he's going to play the Growth Spiral to get himself another card first. He's going to be able to scry. That's a pretty amazing little turn he's having. But that means that he's only got 1 counter spell left. Yes. Alright. Oh, wait a sec. He's got nothing. Ooh, this changes things. Alright, let's use him. Let's use his ability right now. Let's draw a card. Nice. Leave open absorb. Onto enemy's turn. He's got heaps of mana now, so I only have enough mana to counter 1 spell. He's most likely got enough land to play 2 spells, so I need to think very carefully about which spell I want to have countered. It's interesting how I am playing a counterspell deck and I have been matched up against nothing but counterspell decks. But that's okay. I would like to see how this deck runs against an aggro deck. I'm hoping my next fight will be against an aggro deck or a mid-range deck. I do love these counterspell matchups though. It's all mind games. It's should I play a spell this turn or should I leave open my mana to counter a spell next turn? It's all these mind games. Oh goodness. Alright, that is a supreme Nissa counter spell target. If this lands on the field, I'm dead. So, absorb, get that out of here. Nice. Okay, here we go. So the tables are slowly turning now, starting to take over this game. So what I can do is play Wave Break Hippocamp and leave open and absorb. Yeah, let's do that. My opponent can't counter any of my spells now that I have Teferi on the field because of this particular clause here that says each opponent can cast spells only anytime they could cast a sorcery. A sorcery is something you can only play during one of your 2 main phases during your turn. Teferi shuts down this game and turns it into a beginner's game where you can only play magic spells that can only be played during your turn. Also known as sorceries. Alright, my opponent plays a Teferi. That's a big no-no. I would still want to be able to play instant spells, sorry. I like them. Now, he's probably used that to bait. Oh goodness, he may have baited a spell out of me. I didn't really have a choice there. The fact that he played the Teferi first meant I had to counter it, or I would not have been able to play any counter spells after he drops it on the field, forcing me to use my mana to get rid of him. And he did do that to bait my counter spell. Yet he forgot about Narset. Oh goodness for him. Hydroid Crisis lets him draw a card. Narset doesn't let your opponent draw more than 1 card. The fact that they drew a card at the beginning of the turn means that their Hydroid Crisis was wasted in that aspect, and that's really nice for me. Let's beef up the Teferi.
Don't worry, I got this.
I have no way of protecting Teferi from Hydroid Crisis, which is kind of lame. Oh wait, I can. First I'm going to play Granted, get a card. Let's do the Emergency Powers combo. Let's do it. Let's do it. Alright, this is going to be hilarious. As long as my opponent doesn't get rid of Narset, I'm going to play Emergency Powers, and it's going to leave me with a full hand and my opponent with 1 card in hand. And that will make them rage quit. I'm so keen to see this happen. Come on. I've left myself completely open. Is he aware of the Narset Emergency Powers combo? No, he's not. He's getting rid of the Teferi. Oh, it begins. This is going to be sick. Please don't get rid of Narset. Oh, we're going to go out with a bang in this game. This is going to be an explosion of fantastic new cards. Hey, what was that network error? No! Connection lost! Oh no, get back in the game! Oh man, it's crazy how my internet just cut out. Oh, reconnecting! Come on. No! It sounds like his Nissa has resolved. Oh wait, no, it's fine. Okay, sweet. Play the Hallowed Fountain. Play that. And play that. Okay. No attacks. Play Emergency Powers. Let's do it. Yes! Yeah, boy! Put a permanent card with... Oh, yes. Okay, let's put Narset on the field. Oh! You only have 1 card now. I've got 3. Oh, you are amazingly screwed, my friend. Oh, that's unfortunate. Now, if that 1 card that he drew is something really nice, then that's unfortunate for all. Okay, it's a land. What's the other card? Oh, okay, got back in. And I was able to play the combo. Yep, there's the salty scoop. Nice. Okay, that was interesting. Had a disconnect at the scariest time possible, but we were able to get back into it and play the Narset Emergency Powers combo. Feels good, man. Alright, we got one more game. Got time for one more game. Let's go. Please be an aggro deck. I'm wishing for destruction by saying that, but that's okay. We're gonna defeat the aggro deck. That's the true test. True test of a control deck's courage is to defeat the aggro deck. Okay. 2 Fabled Passage and Temple of Enlightenment. That is all tapped lands. That is super slow. And no counter spells. It's way too slow. I'm gonna have to mulligan it. And I didn't get punished. Yeah, boy. Okay. I like that. Which card do I have to get rid of, though? The Wilderness Reclamation is amazing, but it's too expensive. Goodbye. You are the weakest link. Alright, playing the Breeding Pool tapped because I've got no 1 mana cards, so it goes down tapped. Enemy plays a card tapped. I've got 2 Quenches, yes! 2 Quenches are open, ready to shut down any and all aggro cards my opponent plays. Yes, that's an aggro card. And you are not allowed to play this game, aggro card. Goodbye. Okay. Let's play Teferi and tick him up. If my opponent plays a card, it's just going to get bounced by Teferi. As long as my opponent only plays 1 creature spell. If he plays 2, that's when I'm going to start getting overrun. Yes, he doesn't play anything because he knows Teferi is going to ruin his life. Okay, let's go Teferi negative. No, let's just tick him up again. That's fine. Alright, I was thinking, should I bounce my Birth of Meletis back to my hand just so I can play it again and get another land fetched? But I'm going to wait till the 2nd chapter where I get my wall. Then I'm going to bounce it using Teferi. I've got a Quench as well, ready to hopefully counter a spell. Definitely not allowed. That is not allowed on the field, my friend. Okay, cool. He's wasted his turn. I get a forest. I use Teferi. Bounce my Birth of Meletis. Put it into my hand. Get a Hallowed Fountain. Sweet. Oh, that's a shame. I don't have enough blue. Ah, misplay there. Oh well. Fetch the last planes using Birth of Meletis. Thin out the lands from the deck so I get better quality draws. I get actual cards to do stuff. I think I have enough land at this point. He's going to use Oath of Kaya to kill Teferi. Okay, that's manageable. I've got another Teferi. Okay, I'm going to shock this in. And going to do nothing. Going to leave open Sinister Sabotage. I've got 2 walls for the price of 1 Birth of Meletis. What are you going to Banishing Light with that? Birth of Meletis. Yeah. It's kind of pointless, my friend. Alright, victory there. That was really fast, so let's play one more. That was, I would like to say, a mid-range deck. It had a variety. It had creatures and it had some removal spells like Oath of Kaya, which killed my Teferi, and that card he just played then, Banishing Light. But it wasn't a complete full-on aggro deck where every bloody card that's not a land is a creature. That's what I want to fight. Come on, let's see it happen. Let's see a mono-red aggro deck. And I've got Forest Plains, Fabled Passage. I don't have any blue land to play these. I've got the Fabled Passage, which can fetch a blue land, but this requires double blue. So Mulligan. Okay. Got my blue land, got the double quench. God, I love the double quench. Hello, Thalon. Where's the button? Here we go. Alright, let's play the Temple of Enlightenment. It's good that I'm going first for the tap land. With the Birth of Meletis, I can fetch my second land to be able to play the Teferi Time Raveler. It's first chapter, search your library for basic planes card. Love it. Oh my goodness, we've got what I wished for, a mono red aggro deck. Okay, let's go this. Let's go Birth of Meletis. Let's fetch another land. I've got my guaranteed third land drop. Fantastic. And my opponent is going to play a Steamkin. Gonna have to bounce the Steamkin with the Fairy next turn if I've got any hope of surviving this game. Okay, I've got a wall to protect from the Fervent Champion. Got a Teferi to bounce and slow down my enemy's approach. Let's get that runaway Steamkin back up into the hand. Draw a card. Castle Item Vale. Yes, got my 5th land drop. Alright. I think you can calm down now with the land drops game. Give me some more spells. Okay. Drops the runaway Steamkin again. Shocks Teferi. That's fine. I've got another Teferi. I get 2 life from the Birth of Meletis as well, which is fantastic. Okay, let's play Temple of Enlightenment. Get a Scry. I don't need land anymore. Go away. Cool. Play Teferi. Bounce the Steamkin. Draw. Oh, okay. Okay, game. I see you want to flood me with land today. You want me to lose against the red deck. It's not going to happen. Okay, he plays the Steamkin again. He plays another Steamkin. Oh no, it's not looking good, guys. He's starting to overrun me. I need to protect. Okay.
This might be a bad idea.
Oh no. Torbran, that's not allowed. Torbran makes all of his red cards insanely powerful. Can't let that happen. Okay, he lets the Fairy die. Okay. Scary. The weakness of this deck are aggro decks because I have not put in any board wipe spells. Like the one that destroys all non-land permanents. That's a sick card. Okay, he's offering me the choice, hey? Protect my Teferi. Is it worth protecting my Teferi or my mana at this point? I mean my health. I think it's worth protecting my health.
Time for rampage. As soon as I think of one.
Okay. Okay, Thadlin. What you gonna do now? Alright, another land. Oh, game. You're killing me. Okay, I'm gonna fetch some blue with that. Fetching blue. And going to do nothing. My opponent will have the opportunity to use his Castle Embereth next turn. Let's see if he remembers how to use it. Or is he going to drop another card? Anax. What should I do about Anax? Oh, he's got so much mana. Okay, I think it's best that I Thassa's Intervention. For 4. And have a browse at my library. Alright, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? That's a lot of land. Banishing Light. Alright. And Thassa's Intervention. Perfect. Okay. And then those other 2 lands go to the bottom of the card. Hopefully I can get some quality draws out of my library now. My opponent plays another red spell. Oh my goodness. A third Steamkin. This game is getting out of hand now. Alright, I gotta chump block. Take 5 damage. My opponent has something else that he can do. Ah, oopsie. He's gonna infuriate. Okay. That saved my wall at least. Ouch. Oh goodness. Alright, looks like I'm on a 1-turn clock and I got a quench. Okay. So let's banish Anax. Banish Anax. And leave open 2 quenches. And looks like I can survive 1 more turn. Barely. Okay, so definitely blocking the Steamkin. Oh no, what's he have? Ember Cleave. Big oof. No. Pay you 2 mana. Hey, I've got another quench. No! No! Don't do this. Don't spend your damn. Oh well. At least I can block that Steamkin without. Oh, he's. Okay, he's doing that. So that's 6. No, that's. Oh, I haven't even chosen my blockers yet. Right. That's 8, 9, 10. Well, that's 5, 8, 9. And I lose that. Sure. Either, doesn't matter what blocking decision I make, it still puts me on a 1-turn clock. Is there any way that I can get out of this? And absorb. That will give me health. But I don't think it will give me enough. Let's have a search in my library and see what I can get. Let's search for 3. Sure. The chemist is inside. Nice. Okay, looks like I lose. Alright. GG, Mono Red. And he drops the Torbrand for good measure. Okay. You done flexing? Alright, GG's, Talon.